Hello Doctor Who fans and welcome to another video. So as you can see, it's been over a month since my last video, and the main reason for this is due to the fact that I'm sure a lot of you have realised the last wave of figures was very hard to actually get hold of. So before I start reviewing this set that I managed to get hold of through a friend of mine, I want to clear up what I have been told by being in themselves that happened to the other figures. So, again, like a lot of you have realised, the Doctor Who figures from the last lot were only found in the north of the country, Scotland and Northern Ireland. So, people watching from south of Sheffield and Wales have probably seen that you didn't get any except for Birmingham and Bristol and a few sets around the south of the country. So the reason this is when I spoke to someone that works at head office, the southern distribution warehouse, so where all the stock from B&M gets shipped out across the country, they've actually recently built a new warehouse. But that was actually up and running. So what happened was that all the figures were actually sent to the northern hub, so the northern distribution centre, because the southern centre wasn't actually operational. So by the time the southern distribution centre was up and running, all the figures were shipped to the north and then distributed amongst there. So when it came to the southern distribution centre actually opening, there were actually hardly any figures left to be redistributed because of demand. A lot of them were already allocated to stores already, and as soon as they're in store they can't actually be redistributed. So once they're there, they are there, and so by the time that Southern Centre opened, there were hardly any figures that were actually left to be redistributed. So that's why a couple of sets did find their way to the south of the country, but this was mainly due to the fact that these are the ones that just weren't allocated to a store yet. So that's why we had a bit of a trickle of sets amongst other areas of the country. And so because of this, the voided areas, when the stock arrived from China, there was nowhere to actually put the figures. So they were just shipped up north, but then but therefore they were just part of the northern distribution of stuff. So that's why we never got any in the south, because the northern centre just focused on northern stores. So hopefully that's given you some answers. It's probably not the answers you wanted to hear, and unfortunately if you live in the south of the country, there's no more stock available. It is at zero. There's nothing left. So it will have to be from third parties or other selling sites if you want to get hold of them. Stock pretty much within the first 2 weeks was already at zero. So unfortunately this is just one of those things, unfortunately. So hopefully some of you may have got them, but unfortunately there is no more stock at all to be redistributed. So don't try and wait around or keep going into stores for these sets. There aren't any more to be redistributed. I've checked, all stock is at zero for all sets. Due to the popularity is the reason why these sets didn't make it down south as quickly as they should have done, because they're all taken up straight away by the northern stores. So after that explanation from B&M, on to the figure review. So as you can see here, we had the History of the Daleks set number 4. This contains the Daleks and the Daleks Master Plan. So as you can see, these Daleks have been already produced before. We had the Supreme Dalek and Daleks Master Plan, which was originally seen in the 2013 Toys R Us set. And then we had the Dalek with Flamethrower, which was originally seen in the Enemies of the First Doctor set, which was exclusive to Forbidden Planet. So starting off with the Black Dalek, as you can see, it has the closed eye, so as is a common theme. One Dalek, the 60s Dalek sets will have a Dalek with a more open eye and one with more a closed eye. One main difference is due to the fact that it gives a bit more variety again, rather than just having all the eyes just zoomed out. But one of the main differences with these Daleks is the centre bit. So you may have noticed it actually stands out quite a bit is the not sure what you call it, where the centre section is. It's a sort of a lighter grey. So, who owns the original releases have probably seen that those lights have a darker grey. Technically, not sure if it's inaccurate or accurate due to the fact that it was all in black and white. Though what I do like about the re-release with the lighter grey is that it actually shows off the silver more. So whoever has the original release would see that the dark grey sort of tends to camouflage into the silver. But with this, it sort of brings out the silver more. So it makes it more stand out. So I do quite like that added effect. So I was wary of it originally because it stood out too much. But I've actually grown to like it. It's actually nice to have it separated that bit more to actually see the nice the silver mesh and the slats on the side, because I suppose it brings it out more. So it's one nice addition. Basically most of the design is still pretty much the same as the original release, especially the shade of blue, which actually comes off nice on the black. But it's actually a nice, accurate figure. So onto the flamethrower Dalek. Now as you can see here, the flame actually does come out, so you can have it without a flame, or you can have it with the flame. It does actually fit in quite securely, so you don't actually need to worry about it falling out. And it's actually quite a really nice design. As you can see, the flame is actually quite accurate, and it's actually got a darker red, and it actually goes into a nice bright orange. Again, the Dalek is pretty much the same as the Dalek Supreme. It has the lighter grey as well, and it has a zoomed outer eye instead of the zoomed in eye. One difference I may have seen, but I can't remember entirely, is that I think the blue is actually a lighter shade of blue compared to the original release. I think most of the time 60s Daleks from the original release were all sort of the same standard shade of blue. So this is actually more of a sky blue, whilst this is more probably like a water blue. But like that, they've actually done two different shades, so they're not all the same. So they've actually altered the colours a bit. So whilst obviously the centre bit is the same, they've actually altered it different. So we're not having an exact re-release. And I think that's one thing I quite like about them. So I'm sure some of you may or may not like the re-release, but at least they're giving them a bit of something. So people who are worried about the original releases losing value, at least then, they hold a bit more value due to them being the original release, having a bit more of the originalness, so they don't get devalued when they're an exact re-release. But overall, it's actually nice to have this Dalek again, and you know what, I think it's actually a better version than the original, especially that it's got the lighter centre section that brings out the silver more. But hopefully, who had these sets have actually like them as much as I do. There is a History of the Daleks set 3 as well, which has a Chase Guard and a standard silver and blue Dalek, which is basically also a variant. I might get that, I might not, but I shall do a review if and when I get it. But also, I'll let you know that there are 2 new figure sets coming out. Whoever follows me on social media has seen that there is going to be a Coal Hill School set and a Witches Familiar set. These will be coming out from the 23rd of November. They will be at B&M as well, and the same price as always. But don't worry, there's actually a lot more figures. There's going to be over 7,000 of these figures produced, so you don't need to worry about missing out. There's enough to go around for everybody. And they will be redistributed, I've been reassured that they are going to be nationwide once again, so you don't need to worry about missing out. Well, I hope you enjoyed my video, and I'm glad to be back. I'm also glad to finally get hold of one of the new sets. Again, it's been a right pain in the backside to get, but I'm glad to finally have one. I hope you enjoyed my video, and hopefully good luck on getting the new sets later this month. And keep following the Who merch.